Welcome to the Tuddle Daily Podcast. Hello, I am your host, Tuddle. Thank you for joining me for episode 4 of my brand new venture. For the third straight day, my podcast has actually rose in the rankings on Podomatic. You can go to my website, Tuddle, Tuddle.podomatic.com. That's my page. All my shows are up there. I've done 3 so far, but I am up to number 701 in the rankings overall out of all their podcasts, and I'm number 26 in the comedy section. And the great thing about this new podcast that I'm doing, I'm not able to promote it on the radio anywhere, and this is all due to word of mouth. All you guys sharing it and letting people know have helped spread the word. And actually, I didn't expect these type of numbers in the first week. Like I said, I've only done 3 podcasts so far. This will be number 4. I'm going to do number 5 tomorrow, and I'll have my first full week of doing this whole podcast thing. So I hope you guys are really, really enjoying it. If you have any comments or questions, you can email me, Tuddle with 2 Ds, Tuddle @gmail.com. I reply to all my emails, so I'd love to get them from people. So that's Tuddle@gmail.com. That's my personal email. It goes right to my phone, and I usually get back to them within 24 hours. And don't worry, guys, I'm still going to be keeping up with my YouTube channel. You can easily go to that. I bought the domain name TuddleTV.com, so tell people, TuddleTV.com, Tuddle TV.com. That directs you directly to my YouTube page. It's a little bit easier to find. It's catchier, and I think it's cool to, have the domain name TuddleTV.com. So that'll take you, and you'll be able to see all my video content that I've been doing. I still plan on maybe doing 2 to 3 videos a week, but I'm going to be doing this audio podcast for you guys every single day. I also had a meeting yesterday with a fine listener that found out about me through the Bubba the Love Sponge show. He's a part of the Bubba Army, and he was nice enough to originally create the website Tuddle.net. That's Tuddle, Tuddle.net. No, I could not get the .com. It's a little bit jobber to have .net, but literally Tuddle.com was over $10,000, and I don't know why the hell it would be worth that much money. I've looked on it, and I'm like the only famous Tuddle, besides the DJ that I was named after, that Ron and Fez named me after. I don't know if you know that, but I'll get to that story first. But Tuddle.net, go to Tuddle.net. That should have a link to all of my social media where you can find me: Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, all of the social media you can think of. And if you don't want to go to Tuddle.net, just search Tuddle, Tuddle, for any of the social media. I'm on them all, and that's how you can find me. So backtracking a little bit, I had mentioned that, I had searched Tuddle, and I'm basically the only, well-known Tuddle. I mean, a lot of people, it's a slang word. Tuddle is for cuddling. I don't know who the hell came up with that. But back when I first started in radio in Daytona Beach on the Ron and Fez show, they wanted to name me, most interns have crazy, funny nicknames. So they're usually hackish or morning zoo type, radio type names. But they wanted to name me after another DJ that worked in the building. I worked at Black Crow Broadcasting in Daytona. It was 95.7 The Hog, 103.3 The Vibe, 93.1 The Crow, which was the station that I was on with Ron and Fez. And then we had an AM station. I think it was 1150 WNDB. And that was that show. So that was all the stations that was in our cluster. But the host of the morning show, 103.3 The Vibe, which was a top 40 station, was a guy by the name of Tim Tuddle, but he spelled his last name with 2 T's instead of 2 D's like myself. So Tim Tuddle was a guy that Ron and Fez, they got along, but they like to make fun of him and screw with him a lot. So they were like, hey, let's name our new intern after Tuddle, because we're going to F with our intern. So every time we're making fun of him or screwing with him, we're kind of messing with Tim Tuddle, the host of 103.3 The Vibe. So I had that name, and I was going by Tuddle, Tuttle, for a couple of months. And then I had a couple of people that emailed me and said, hey, you might want to change the name up a little bit just in case, you do become famous and make a lot of money, that this other Tuddle, Tuttle, Tim Tuddle, the host of The Vibe, wants to come after you for stealing his name. And I just decided to be safer than sorry, and I changed it to Tuddle with 2 D's, Tuddle, just to cover my ass if this other radio host, and I did find him, and I'll have to post some pictures up on my Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook of this guy. He went from being a host of a morning radio show on a top 40 station, and I think he's somewhere in Tennessee, and is the host of a morning show on a country station. So in all of his pictures, he's got his cowboy shirt and denim jeans on and boots and a big 10-gallon or 5-gallon hat, whatever the hell you call it, wearing that. So he's gone completely country. And I would like to try to get him on the show sometime just to talk to him and see where he's at in his career. Pretty sure way more successful than what I'm doing right now. But maybe I can come after him for some money and kind of flip the whole script on this thing. So my worries of, changing the name if I ever became rich and famous were for nothing, because there's really dog crap that he could get from me right now at this point. Yesterday, if you listened to Tuddle's Daily Podcast, episode 3, or you follow me on social media, you probably saw a tweet or heard me talking about it, is that I am getting my first sponsor on board. I'm really, really excited to tell you all about it. They're getting their website. This is a startup business. So the podcast is starting. They're starting new. They want to do some stuff with me. They want me to mention and talk about their product, but they're also going to be working on some Tuddle merchandise. And I brought that up on my social media and my podcast yesterday. And I had a couple of people actually email me. And if you listen to me on the Bubba the Love Sponge show, you probably remember right before we went to Charleston for the Honky Tonk Saloon for, I think they call it Bubba Mania or whatever, and the whole show went up there, and we did that. Somebody had sent me a piece of merchandise that said Bubba Rex underneath of it, and it was a picture of Bubba making, the heart, like I love you symbol, and we always made fun of Bubba for having T-Rex arms, not being able to, wipe his own ass or scratch his back or, reach for stuff. And that's something that we made fun of him a lot on. And somebody had sent me that shirt. And forever and ever, the listeners have been bugging the hell out of me about doing a Bubba Rex shirt. Well, I talked to the merchandise guy that came over that is going to be my sponsor. And I said, is there anything we can do for this Bubba Rex shirt? People are clamoring for it. They want it. All right. So obviously, we can't use a picture of Bubba because Bubba is highly trademarked. I can't use any of his images, his logo, his name, but the guy ended up working on some mock-ups of what a Bubba Rex shirt would look like. And I do have the photos, and I think I may post them tomorrow at some point, but I want to get your feedback and find out, do you think this is a good idea or a bad idea? And what I'm asking is that, Bubba talks about on his show, the whole show is basically busting balls and screwing with people and having fun. Now, this Bubba Rex shirt that they did for me, it's a caricature of Bubba. It looks like Bubba. You can tell that it is Bubba, but there's no Bubba merch on, like he's not wearing a hat with the Bubba Army chevrons on it. There's nothing that would make you think that it is Bubba the Love Sponge show or anything like that. The only thing on the shirt, it says Bubba Rex underneath of it. It's a T-Rex. It's, like a Minotaur. Minotaurs are like half bull, half human or whatever. So the T-Rex is the body, but a caricature, which you can tell that it is Bubba, as the head, and underneath of it says Bubba Rex. But like I said, no Bubba chevrons, no mention of Bubba the Love Sponge. It could be any Bubba. And I want to get your feedback. If you could email me, Tuddle, Tuddle @gmail.com, or you can tweet at me, twitter.com/Tuddle, or follow me on Facebook, facebook.com/Tuddle. I want to get your feedback, and I want to hear your honest opinion. Is it a good idea or a bad idea? If I do this, is Bubba going to be pissed and hold it against me? Because like I've done with this, and in my radio career, I've been known for burning bridges, and I usually talk crap about the show that fired me or the show that I was let go of and would attack the host. And this is something that I've not done this time. I've actually repaired a lot of my relationships that I've ruined by burning bridges. I've made up with Russ Rollins. We're good. We pretty much talk every day through email. And what I'm asking is, would this like burn a bridge with Bubba if I did the Bubba Rex t-shirt and sold them? Because a lot of people are interested in a Bubba Rex t-shirt. So what I just want to get your honest opinion. Should I do it or should I not do it? Will Bubba get the joke and not be mad? Or would he take it too seriously and be really, really upset and burn that bridge and no chance of ever having any relationship with him or the show in the future? Like I said, email me, Tuddle, Tuddle @gmail.com, or tweet at me, twitter.com/Tuddle or facebook.com/Tuddle. I will read over them and I'll make a decision on tomorrow's podcast and let you know what I'm going to do. I might even post the picture, the mock-up artwork that they sent me today. I just wanted to give you guys an update because a lot of people use iTunes to listen and download all their podcasts. I have already submitted it to iTunes, but I'm not sure. It's been a while since I've uploaded any podcast or anything to iTunes, so I don't know what the review process is like, how long it's going to take. My stuff is not explicit. I've tried to do a good job at not cursing too much and making this a very dirty podcast. I just want to be able to keep it radio friendly, like I'm still a broadcaster. Hopefully one day somebody will have it in their heart to give me a radio peasant like myself another radio job. But until that day, I'm going to be doing this podcast. I do have job offers on the table. I'm working on them. There's 2 really, really good ones. I'm waiting on another one. But whatever I do, I just want to make sure that I pick the right situation this time, because I'm not getting any younger. I just turned 40 and I've been trying to hustle as much as I can with this new year. I'm a lot different person. I'm not drinking, so I'm a lot more responsible. I'm off all the psychotropic drugs, so my mind is right. This is the best I've ever felt personally in my life. I've never been better than what I am right now. I just need to work on the professional side of my life. So if I can get both of those up and running at the same time, I'll be doing pretty well. And I don't need a lot of money. I live very meager situation in my life. I don't need a lot of money. I just need to be able to pay for a car, place to live, eat. I'm not a very expensive eater, so that's all that I need right now. So any place, I'll go work for you. I just want to find a station that will get me on there and I'll be able to work my way up. But there's also some stuff that I got working on at the end of the year, but I got to get a job before then. But if this other plan that I'm discussing with somebody, it would be my dream radio job if I can get this and it all pans out the right way. A lot of stuff has to fall into place for this to happen, but I really do think it could happen. This would be one of my favorite radio gigs by the end of the year if everything pans out the way that I want it to. And you know what? While it's on my mind, this is something I wanted to pitch to you, and I've been meaning to bring this up the past couple of podcasts, but I've just been so busy trying to get this thing up and running, making sure that it's done right. But something I want to do with this podcast is that I want to have you, the listeners, be a part of it. I can't take live phone calls, but what I am wanting to do is if you have something interesting, an interesting part of your life, something you'd like to share, maybe we could call it the listener show and tell. And you can come on the show. All you need to do is get Skype on your phone. If you email me, Tuddle with 2 Ds, Tuddle @gmail.com, and tell me that you're interested in coming on the show. I'll be cool, I promise. We'll talk back and forth. And you can just go on and talk about anything you want to. If you have a cause or a topic you're very, very passionate about, I'll be more than happy to have you on. You can come on and talk about whatever you want to. Or if you have an interesting skill or an interesting thing that's happened to you, I want to talk to you. So email me, Tuddle @gmail.com. Like I said, all you need is Skype. We'll be able to connect that way. I'll record it, and then I'll put it on one of the podcasts. And I'm for real. Anybody that wants to be on the show, email me, Tuddle @gmail.com. This is a segment that I'm going to start doing on my show. I'm going to get a check-in with my parents and see how they're doing. My dad is, it is about 7:25, so right now he is definitely watching Lou Dobbs. Anything interesting going on with Lou Dobbs today?
Yeah, I just watched what they did at the
Democratic
debate last night, so...
What'd you think? From what I've heard, is Bloomberg did pretty crappy.
All of them did crappy. They all crappy.
Oh, come on. Bernie at least was good. You gotta like Bernie.
Who would want a socialist running this country?
Well, I mean, I don't think it's technically as a socialist. I mean, I think people try to label him that way.
Yes, he is. He'd fall right in place down in Venezuela.
Yeah, so what did Mom cook you for dinner tonight?
I don't know. I ain't eat yet.
Whatever you did you eat. There's an empty bowl sitting in front of you.
Lasagna or something.
Yeah.
I don't know what they are.
All right, hold on. I'll go over to the cook herself. All right, so what was for dinner? You have to talk.
No.
No, what was for dinner?
It was noodles and broccoli and chicken.
Did you ever find out what smelled in the house because you were complaining about it stinking? What was it?
Stuff from last night.
What, the vegetables?
Yeah.
See, I told you it was the vegetables that were stinking. All right, do you have anything else you want to say?
Nothing.
What is wrong? You need to help out your son's radio career, and he's trying to, get some stuff here, and people want to hear from you.
No.
All right. Love you. Bye. So on the second podcast that I did this week on my debut week, I talked a lot about my dating life and all the women that I have been talking to and meeting over Tinder. Tinder is my dating app or site that I, chose to use. It seems really, really easy. So I've been having some pretty good luck with that. And I told you about all the women that I had been talking to and how they played out. But I recently, for about a week, I think it's a week now, it might be a little bit more, that I've been talking to this one woman. She is 37, so she's 3 years younger than me. But she is Puerto Rican, and she speaks English very, very well. We've talked on the phone a couple of times. So, but it's weird because she has what you would call the stereotypical shape of a Spanish woman. She is not fat, but she's got an ass. Like, I've been with some women that had some okay asses. I mean, good asses, but they weren't plentiful asses like this one. And I just, I would like to hear from you guys and hear your stories of experiences with bigger asses. You can email me, Tuddle, Tuddle @gmail.com, and tell me any of your experiences. If you'd like to come on the show and tell me about some of your big booty experiences, I would love to have you on, and we can record it over Skype and have it on. But so back to this girl, I've been talking to her. I've talked to her on the phone a little bit, and every time I keep trying to bring up the fact of, hey, let's do something. Let's, it doesn't have to be anything big, just to meet in person, because I'm starting to have my doubts of, I think I might be being catfished on this one. And I've not been catfished before, but I know eventually it's going to happen when you get involved with these dating websites like Tinder or any of these other ones. I really haven't used any other ones. If you have any suggestions, email me, Tuddle@gmail.com. I would like to try out some of the other ones. But with this one, she's just very hesitant. It took a long time to be able to get her on the phone just to talk. So, I don't know if she maybe got her sister or somebody else or whoever it is. I just feel like I might be getting catfished a little bit. But I'm going to play it out because I don't want to miss a chance with this ass. This is a magnificent, plentiful ass that, yes, do I think I might be able to handle it? No, I really, to be honest, I think it would be too much for me. I really do. I don't think I'd be able to handle it. But I would like to try because I might be some type of ass connoisseur or something. So it's just an experience that I've always wanted to have. And the last thing I wanted to talk about on today's podcast, I know it's a couple of days past, but Donald Trump's appearance in the Daytona 500. Now, I don't want anybody to get mad. I'm just telling you right now, I do not support any politician. I don't believe in any politician. I feel like they're all crooked. Until we get lobbyists out of Washington, D.C., we're never going to have a politician that's actually going to give an F about what happens to us, because they have to pay back all these favors that the lobbyists are giving them money so they can get reelected. It's just one big, humongous crap cycle. And all we're doing is just eating crap over and over and over again, and it's never going to change because no politician is going to try to take that money away. You want to know why? Because the other politicians that are getting rich off of it are never going to let it happen. So that's exactly the type of system we're in. Yes, don't think I'm one of those people that does not vote. I do vote. I vote for the lesser of two evils. I know that's a cliche thing to say, but that's the way that I look at it. But I I don't support Donald Trump. I will say this, my dad is the biggest Donald Trump mark you could ever meet. He's not a bad guy. He's just the way that he was raised and how he was brought up and just the things that are important to him. And he thinks Trump is the best guy that's going to make that happen. I don't like Trump. I don't hate Trump. You know, what I'm trying to say is I'm just indifferent about him. If he does good, if he does something great, I'll back him up. I'll give him props for it. I mean, there are a lot of people out there that hate Donald Trump so goddamn bad. You know, he could cure cancer or AIDS or something like that and end hunger in Africa. They would still find something wrong with what he did. And that's just the way that it's going to be. The country is so divided right now between the people that really hate Trump and the people that support Trump. And there's definitely people out there that support Trump, really, really support Trump. But it was ridiculous. You know, he came to the Daytona 500. He was the Grand Marshal. He gave the words, the commands to start your engines. He did all that. He even drove his limo around the speedway. That is pretty badass. That's very pimp. To take the Beast, that's what they call the president's limo, they call it the Beast, and drive it around the high banks of a 2.5-mile racetrack. I mean, I don't think any other president would have done that. Trump is his ego is so big, he probably, I'll bet you money he did not get permission to even drive. He wasn't driving, but to be drove around the speedway, I bet he did not get permission. I bet he told his driver, or the Secret Service or whatever, make it happen. Do it or you're going to be fired. He probably told them just to drive around the track, and everybody was like, oh, okay. Well, the president's driving around the track. Is somebody going to stop him? No, nobody's going to stop him. But it was ridiculous. People hate Trump so bad. The Daytona 500 got rained out on Sunday, and people actually blamed the rain out on Trump. I read hundreds of tweets of people saying, oh, you got rained out because Trump was there. A black cloud follows Trump around everywhere. People actually thought that Trump was the reason that it rained. And if you thought the Trump hate couldn't get any greater than what it is right now, get this. I read hundreds of tweets. People, scumbags, actually said that they were happy. Or not happy, I did read a couple that said they were happy that Ryan Newman got hurt because Donald Trump was there and the drivers support Trump and the sport supports Trump. So they're glad and they don't care if he dies. People actually said that they do not care if Ryan Newman died from his crash that he was involved in at the end of the Daytona 500. And he had to be rushed to Halifax. And people were actually saying that this happened. Trump jinxed him. That's why Ryan Newman almost died. That's why he's in a bad wreck and he's in the emergency room because Trump came there. People actually believe that. How bad is the hate that you got to have that you would wish another man to die, or you're not happy, or you're sad to see him get into a bad accident? It has no bounds. Now, Trump does do a lot of things that I don't agree with. There's a lot of stuff that, his being on Twitter all the time and calling people out, just let your actions speak for what they are. You don't need to be out there because in the long run, the media, CNN, MSNBC, they're all going to use it against you. So you're just giving them ammunition. But a quick update on Ryan Newman. He did get released out of Halifax Medical Center today, actually. Yes, it depends on when you're listening to this, but he got released on Thursday. So he has no intentions of driving in the next race because I don't think he's medically cleared yet to be able to do that. I'm sure that he's got to be sore as hell after taking that double hit. And I don't know if you saw it. I mean, he hit the wall really hard, caused the car to completely flip over. And if things couldn't have gotten any worse, the driver's side, where he sits at, fell on the right side where the cars were coming from. So he got T-boned there. The cab completely ripped open, and he had to have had sparks and all types of stuff like hitting him. I just don't know how he ended up walking away from that one, but it shows that NASCAR has done a lot when it comes to the safety of these cars, because if you just look back to 2001 when Dale Earnhardt got into that accident and died, that was not even a bad wreck. The wreck did not even look that bad. I've seen a lot of worse wrecks that people have walked away from. But the thing about Earnhardt is that For one, he refused to wear a Hans device, where the Hans device is the little neck restraint that hooks to your back of your neck and holds on so you don't get whiplash. But the other reason why was Dale refused. Most of the drivers now wear a helmet where it covers the jawline. It covers up the whole face. Dale actually had an open face helmet at the time, and he refused to, wear anything else. So I think that had a lot to do with it. But you can see that the improvements have been made, because for Ryan Newman to only be like 3 or 4 days in the hospital and to walk out. He walked out of the hospital. They had pictures there. And I also feel bad for him. He had this happen to him, but 2 days earlier, him and his wife had announced that they're separating. And that's a really, really big shock, because I have covered the races for a lot of years. It's been like 7 or 8 since I've been covering them. But when I was working in Orlando, I was at every speed week. I'd actually travel and go to some of the other races. And I was around Ryan and his wife a lot. And I mean, it seemed from the outside looking in was a great relationship. So it seems like they're still going to be friends, because she ended up being there at the hospital. They took some pictures together with their 2 daughters. So, at least she showed up and supported him while he's going through this tough time. So, all right, guys, thank you so much for listening to today's podcast. Go to TuddleTV.com. That'll take you to any of my video content. Go to all my social media, Twitter.com/Tuddle, Facebook.com/Tuddle, Instagram.com/Tuddle, or you can go to Tuddle.net, Tuddle.net, and that will have links to all my websites. Everything Tuddle will be on Tuddle.net. You can also email me, Tuddle with 2 Ds, Tuddle @gmail.com. I'd like to hear your questions, comments on the show. I will read them on the air, and if you do want to be a guest, just email me. We'll line it up. Thank you so much, guys. I hope you guys have a great day. I'll talk to you tomorrow.